What's up, you guys? You're tuned into an all-new episode of Point of View. Happy Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday.
Tuesday, burn.
How are you guys feeling today?
Good.
Yeah, we look so bright, and then you get to decide at the table.
That's funny.
Janiyah clearly missed the memo today.
Yes.
I sent the memo. How about I got
¿Qué pasó?
See, Anna did not say no. So, technically, see what happened was
Miriam.
You were trying to get us in yellow so you could just shine on your own in the black?
Yeah, she's
No,
trying to,
no.
She wanted to be the main character.
so bad. Whatever.
Oh my gosh, but you guys, we have a very exciting episode ahead of us, so let's just jump right into it. So what do you do when you're in public and you see a parent disciplining their child? Do you intervene or do you stop and record, pretty much? So basically, there is a person who... There's a man who has been arrested and charged with 1 count of first-degree cruelty to a child after allegedly abusing a 3-year-old child in a viral video that took place in front of a Kroger. Take a look at this clip.
Now I say, shut up! You ain't getting no damn car. Shut up! When I said, shut your ass up! Shut up! You're not getting no damn car. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! You ain't getting no damn car. Stop partying on yourself. Go to the party at school. How about that?
My heart is racing right now.
Yeah.
Like
I'm gonna let
that
y'all
is
take it first.
that is like a little traumatizing. I'm not gonna hold y'all. My heart
Yeah.
is literally racing right now.
Yeah.
Like
Scared for that child's safety.
that is so not okay.
He's literally the kind of parent that will shake your baby
Ooh.
and
Yeah.
give your baby shaking.
Yeah.
I got that
It gives
so
he has
strong.
anger issues.
Oh no,
Like,
it gives mental issues.
yeah,
so hard.
yeah. Like he's not okay to
Yeah.
be a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
A 3-year-old who's still like developing what to do, what not to do, what to say. Like, don't 3-year-olds like just start talking at 3?
Barely.
Yeah.
And
It
if they
depends,
are, it depends on their teaching and what they have been. That baby may not be able to communicate
Yeah.
Right.
big feelings yet, or communicate. Okay, I can't get this. How to?
But if you're beating your child like that in public, like I could just imagine
What you're
happens
doing
What
at
I'm
home.
doing behind closed doors. Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
with that kind of restriction in the car, but the kind of force, you can hear it from all the way. That lady was across the parking lot.
Right, right. And you
You
can
know-
still hear that child screaming.
Yes.
That is so
Yeah,
sad.
I would never intervene if I saw something like that. Honestly, I don't even know what I would do in that
I don't know
situation.
either.
But I mean, I know a lot of people are like, okay, but why are you recording? But she also got proof that could make this case stronger. If something pops up later on. But to use that much force on a 3-year-old, I think that's absolutely insane.
Right.
A 3-year-old, sometimes they don't even know how to process their emotions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they're having a bad day, they don't know how to process it, so they'll probably scream or throw a fit. And at that point, you have to
Or just
first of all,
cry.
exactly. And I think at that age, you first, I don't have kids, but I think that it's best to maybe, first of all, help them understand why they're feeling that way, and then show them this isn't the reaction that you should have. Like, you can't control how you feel, but you can control your reaction for sure. So my thing is, like, you're, beating your child possibly for having a reaction, but your reaction is also not controlled as well. So, I don't know.
I also don't have kids, but I feel like at some point you have to be like some sort of example. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand like your child is having a fit or having a temper tantrum
yeah.
or whatever the case is, but also like I feel like for me, like when I actually do have kids, like I am going to first practice gentle parenting because I just feel like that is abuse. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a 3-year-old child. Like it should never, ever, ever take that much force. And then even still, you're still not getting your way, even after beating that child, hitting that child, screaming at that child.
Now they're crying
They're
more.
still, exactly,
Yeah.
they're even more frustrated because they can't even process their own feelings.
Yeah.
So
Careful, Callie. Careful, Sister Tally.
okay, so I'm a little bit conflicted in how I feel about this situation. One, because it is hard to see, but I feel like the dad seems to be like in distress in a sense, and he seems to be not as emotionally intelligent, and so he's frustrated with the child, maybe frustrated with some other things in life, and maybe that crying child is like a breaking point, which I know tends to happen with parents, and that is why sometimes I feel like a lot of parents don't feel comfortable with letting their young child be one-on-one with a mom or a dad that kind of has those kind of tensions when they're younger. And sometimes when parents know that they don't have that self-control, they kind of know, hey, I can't handle them on my own right now. But I also feel like even though this was extreme as a parent myself, I don't feel like it was really abuse. I feel like it was very harsh. But like me just watching, the video, he was talking to the baby like really bad, but like he didn't really like overly beat the baby. Like he did do 2 strong pops, and baby, I spent a while beat the child, so let's get it together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I do remember also when my son was 2, he's 16 now, but when he was 2, that's when I kind of started implementing like the little pinch. You know what I'm saying? And by the time he was 3, maybe I would like give him like a little spanking, not that hard of a pop, but pop him a little bit. And by the time he was 4, baby, he was a soldier in the army of the Lord. I didn't have to beat him at all. He was literally walking the straight and narrow. And then after that, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe once a year I would have to get him together. But, I don't necessarily, I believe that parenting needs to be a little bit more gentle before it crosses over to the abusive side.
Absolutely.
But I am not for gentle, quote unquote, parenting. And I feel like a lot of parents these days think that they're gentle parenting when really they're under parenting. And now these kids is robbing and stealing and busting people's head open in the parking lot. And I don't feel like the people that were watching were wrong for recording, because it was a little bit excessive, but at the same time, like, I don't feel like he, like,
I agree with that
abused the
too.
kid.
I don't think, I'm not going to say I'm not for gentle parenting. I think, there are some aspects in gentle parenting that may work for sure. I don't think if I have kids, I would be like okay, little Timmy, like, I'm gonna, I'm gonna be like, okay, little Timmy, I understand you feel this way, but I'm gonna,
Right.
get it together, okay?
So maybe take off this shoe.
Like, right, let me take off this shoe for sure. I think, even the way my mom raised me, I mean, just similarly to like your kid, like, my mom, all you had to do was yell at me. I think it really varies child by
I was
child
that
for
child.
sure. Yeah, it really varies child by child. However, I really think sometimes a lot of parents also need to check their mental health.
Yes, for sure.
When they are faced with their child, or when they have to take care of their child. Sometimes if you have to ask for help, I feel like you should do that, honestly. Because if this man, I don't know the process.
I have no problem asking for help.
Right, like, I don't know if he had to, like, call his mom, like, the child's grandparent, like, can you take this child off my hands for a little bit? Like, mentally, I just can't. I'm not sure, but, I mean.
So do y'all feel like Black families are more, like, targeted when it comes to, like, child abuse?
It's not child abuse. I feel like white families don't know what discipline is. I think that they think everything is abuse. That we overuse that word, abuse in relationships, abuse in parenting, and we just say, oh, if it's harsh and it makes me feel a type of way, it's abuse. That's not the case. I do
You didn't
believe
feel like that was abuse?
After hearing what Tally said in the explanation, I am leaning more towards she's right as far as I don't think it's abuse, because abuse would be excessive. He really did pop the baby twice. Do I think it might have been a little hard?
But not just physical abuse.
It was
mental abuse.
it was
No,
verbal.
so it was
verbally,
verbal,
yes.
verbally wrong, 100%.
Okay.
The using the word shut up and sometimes parents don't know when to stop. And sometimes you have to let the baby cry. Let them let it out, but you over exhausting yourself trying to get them to stop is going to make the situation worse. Sometimes just how you have to separate yourself from an adult situation, sometimes you have to separate yourself from your child. It's okay.
Because you're dealing with somebody who doesn't know how to process their emotions.
Exactly.
Right?
And essentially when you're upset with an adult, it's because you and that adult cannot process y'all feelings in the same way. This is another human being. So I feel like with that situation, I agree with Tally. Like I feel like he himself has his own traumas, and how I feel like that's how his parents grew him up.
He's an angry man.
He's an angry man. So he himself don't know how to deal with that child
Right.
Yeah.
at all.
Right.
I don't think right now he needs to be with his child.
Yeah.
He
If
don't need
I
to be
was
alone
to
with
see,
that child because he get frustrated too easily.
if I was to see Malik to react to our daughter like that, I'm not gonna lie, Malia does not look like I've tried gentle parenting. My baby is not a gentle baby. She not.
She gonna tussle
Yeah.
with you.
You know your child.
I know my child, but I
Yeah.
also know the parents who
Yeah.
created the child.
Right.
I'm not.
And you is hard-headed, girl.
If you
I
guys,
ain't gonna lie.
if you guys were in the shoes of the woman who is recording, would you have intervened?
Absolutely.
Really?
No, did y'all see the muscles on that man?
You would've
recording.
intervened?
She did what she needed to do.
What you would have said to that man?
I ain't no little girl. Like, what you mean? Like,
He's not a little
He
man.
would have said pew pew pew.
he
That
ain't
one
had
time
no pew pew pew.
What
You
was
don't
it?
know how to
Pop, pop, pop.
But you know
What, he gonna beat me?
I did want to say that I also feel like we're living in a time right now where people don't have the community that they used to have, you know, as far as even raising children. So I feel like I was watching this guy on Instagram today, and he, you know, provides housing options for, you know, people in need. And he says that he has like a community also where he has a few houses that, like, you know, parents can come, and he's creating like a community where you can leave your kids for a couple hours, like in these, you know, with certified people, where you can go and take a break or go to a job interview or things like that. And I feel like we need more resources in our communities to help parents like that, because that man looks like life is weighing on him and he's about to break.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, it honestly really takes a village, for sure. But you guys, we do have to take a short break. We do have more discussion about parenting after the break. Welcome back. So the discussion continues, and we're talking about toxic parenting. In this case, a mother went viral for telling her 5-month-old son to stop crying because he's not a little girl. Is this an example of toxic parenting, or could it be seen as tough love? Well, you can be the judge of this. Take a look.
Blaze, I told you you're not a girl. Stop screaming. Between him like being so tuned into TV and screaming, I just be like, he sound like a big boy. No, I don't like when he do that screaming shit. He's not a girl.
Like, how old is this baby for real?
Yeah.
5 months.
Like, be so
BFFR.
BFFR.
The baby is still a noodle neck.
Please,
Can't even lift his head up.
Please,
But you
like,
talk about
come
you're
on.
not a little girl.
Come
The noodle
on.
neck is crazy.
That's, you know how they say, like, you gotta, like, me and Tally actually was just talking about this yesterday. She was saying, like, how you gotta speak life into people. Like, literally, as a child, I feel like you should do that. You should literally do just that, like, speak life into, like, everybody, too.
Yeah.
But especially a child, because a child is
They're a
sponge.
sponge.
Like, they're going to, like, just
Absorb.
take it all in,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I feel like telling your son that he's like not a girl for screaming, like maybe the baby is just happy.
Yeah.
And it's an
Right.
excited scream,
Right.
you know, like it's not like the baby didn't sound like he
In
was
distress,
crying.
yeah.
He sounded like he was just hanging out. Like he
She
was
said
he was
it.
probably having a great day.
He
You
was
sit here telling him
tuned
he's
into
not a
the
girl.
show.
And yeah, she said
Yeah,
he normally
he's
does that while he's watching
Enjoying the
TV.
entertainment.
Yeah.
And
You're
you
from somebody who
mad.
has a nephew who just turned 2. Happy birthday! But he just turned 2, and he's still like just screaming, like happy. Like when he saw all the balloons, you know, for his birthday, and he was literally just screaming. You know what I mean? Kids
yeah.
just scream. That's like, you know, before they start speaking, that's really one of the ways they communicate,
Right.
like, or communicate happiness or, you know, excitement,
Right.
you know, other than
Right.
crying before they
Right.
speak. So for you to be like, oh, you're sassy because you're screaming, or you're a girl, like that's
Yeah.
wild to me, and
I
it's
didn't
so
like
toxic.
that. Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah,
at all.
she's for sure gonna like raise her child off of basically toxic masculinity a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because this, like, you know, also veers into the conversation of like when parents tell their little boys, you can't cry, that's girl stuff, you know, or
And
you
he's gonna
can't
grow
show
up
emotion.
hiding his feelings.
Yeah, like, and they hide their feelings, and they grow up with this toxic masculinity. They feel like
And
they
they gotta
can't
be
show
so
their
tough.
emotion. Exactly.
Yeah.
And then they wonder why they're struggling having relationships, and they wonder
Exactly.
why the mom eventually
why they fighting everybody
They
because when they
fighting
blow up,
everybody,
when
yep.
they actually explode.
and their mom feels like they have to overcompensate, and now you have it's a domino effect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
From a child. Like I speak so much life into Malia. Every mommy little pumpkin sweet baby. You are beautiful. You is kind. You is
Okay.
important.
Okay.
Every day, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
But it's so that she knows, and it's embedded in her, so that if anybody even looks her direction and says otherwise, she's
Yeah.
like, "Girl, please." My mama
'Cause my
told
mama
me.
said.
My mama
Okay.
said.
Okay.
Okay. But it's so hard to feel like parenting is hard. You know, you before you have kids, you're like, oh, I'm so gonna do this. I'm so not gonna do that. And then you have the kid, and it's like,
Get a little different.
it get a little different.
Well,
because-
this kid is me.
yeah.
This kid is me.
Yeah, Malia is 19 months, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm literally seeing myself in her, and I'm just like,
Personality and
do
all
I
just
want to
developing.
react like how?
Yeah.
And now I'm seeing like my mother, like stuff that my mom would do with me.
Yeah.
I said I
Coming out
would
of
never
you.
do that, and I'm having the same reaction. It's like, oh, do I do the same thing? How did that make, like, how is that affecting me now? And it's so hard to play this mind game with yourself as a parent. And it's like, do I do the same thing my mom did, but now I know how that affects me, and do I consider it trauma? Am I gonna have the same traumas? Give my child the same traumas, or am I gonna give them different trauma?
Right, yeah.
I'm like, what trauma am I gonna give my child? Like, and do I want to be overly protective or not protective enough? And now my baby's like dealing with life
I
battles.
think you're doing an amazing job.
Right.
No,
thank
for sure.
you,
Even
guys.
thinking about it and wanting to check, you know, your direction and giving yourself accountability is very important. But I think that this is also something that in the Black community, you know, what this young woman was saying, is something that we're plagued with so much. You know, like we're always, you know, projecting onto children, especially young men, how they can't be or how they shouldn't be. I remember when my son, my 16-year-old, when he was younger, I was a single parent and I worked in a barbershop, so I was the only girl in the back and I had all this space and, you know, it was full of guys. And because my son was not a thug, you know, they would tell me all the time, oh, you're going to raise him so soft. He's going to be so soft.
Oh, my God.
All this, you know, and I'm just like, okay, he's not soft. He's not soft. And I remember one of the main barbers that always said my son was soft decided to play fight with my son. At the time, my son had to be like 4, and Skylar bust his lip, nose bleeding. I was so proud. I told y'all he can handle his own just because he articulates well, and because
Right.
he, doesn't have that
Carries
desire to
himself
be
a certain
extra
way.
street savvy,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that he is inadequate with handling his emotion or that he's not going to be manly enough.
Right.
And this young lady, I believe her name is Jasmine Chavez.
Chavez.
She's Jada Waiter's sister.
Yeah.
And, with Jada, she always gets that online. People are always saying that her son, he's super cute,
Yeah.
articulates very well. I mean, is super bright, and really can express his emotions. And he's comment on different things because he has that capacity, even at 4 or 5, however old he is. But the internet is always saying, "Oh, he's a girl. Oh, he's sassy," and these things just because. Like he commented the other day on his mom saying that somebody was saying that their order came out late.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Mom,"
yeah, I remember this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was like, "Mom, their order came out late because them people be on the phone and and she was like,
4.
yeah, and she was
everybody
like,
was saying he was
and
sassy
she
for
was like, "You
that."
think that I should fire them, Loyal?" And he was like, "No, I think you should act like you gonna fire them so they could get scared and then do better, but don't
Honestly,
fire
that
them
was-
for
that
real."
was good advice.
Exactly. And I'm
That
like,
was really good
people
advice.
are saying
At
that he
4.
was sassy. When to have that cognitive ability
That's
at 4
crazy.
to
It's
trick these people
wild.
out their job.
Right, okay.
Right.
To do their
To
job
do
better so
better.
his mom can make more money
Exactly.
so he can get toys.
Okay.
Let's be
Oh
real.
my gosh.
Okay.
No, there's this weird dynamic in the Black community, and it really annoys me whenever anyone is faced with a man that's super proper,
Yeah.
or super like clean cut. They automatically see him as sassy, you
Or
know what I mean,
soft.
or soft, you
Yeah.
know. And sometimes, I
That's a
find
li-
myself falling into that, thing. But then I have to check myself. Sometimes too. I'm like, no. It's probably just proper. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like now people are doing that with kids, and it's so annoying. Like if they sit up a specific way and they're a boy, or you know,
Right.
if they're articulating their words in a
If
very
they want to
specific way.
dance.
If they want to dance,
Yeah, if they want to
exactly.
dance, like that's too sassy, that's too girly. But it's like,
Yeah.
what if this little boy grows up to be like the next like top
Chris Brown.
Olympic
Chris Brown.
cheerleader or something, or Chris Brown or something like that? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But you're preventing that because you're projecting however you feel or whatever was taught to you,
Right.
onto that child.
Yeah, and what's so scary about it is people are afraid of the thieves when they're big thieves and they're big robbers and they're big bad people, but then they are okay with the child emulating that behavior, not realizing this is what it grows up
Yeah.
to. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
those grown thieves were
Yeah.
babies once.
Yeah.
We're kids
Exactly.
once, And we're
Exactly.
And I
teenagers.
could see it in the kid right now, but I be seeing some 3 and 4 year olds, I'm like, boy,
Hey, you problems. No,
No, one time I was at one of my friend's house, and his brother is like the epitome of toxic masculinity. But like his brother, he had his son, and they like the kids were playing karaoke, and the son wanted to sing Drake. He wanted to sing a Drake song, and then he
Yeah.
was like, "No, we're gonna sing like Gunna or something like that. Like that's soft, that's sassy, like whatever." And I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
It's
like
just a song.
Yeah, and I didn't want to intervene because also commenting on other people's parenting like can be really, really touchy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But how do you guys feel about commenting on people's like parenting?
I'm
People
gonna
do
say
it
what
all
I
the
got
time.
to
Okay,
say.
y'all, hold on.
What do you mean? Like, I feel like knowledge is king. Take
Yeah.
the good, leave the rest. Like,
Right.
I can't, because I don't know everything. Please tell me, am I doing something wrong? Am I
Right.
Now, again, do I like it? Now, come correct.
Maybe not at the moment. Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
Respectfully.
Respectfully.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's what friendship, and I feel like that's the main thing that people, don't want in friendship is accountability. Let me
Amen.
know if I'm talking to my mama crazy.
Amen.
Let me know if I overdid it, the way I was talking to my baby. Not in front of my baby, but maybe
Right.
say, you know what? Sorry, I heard you on the phone with Maddox yesterday. When you get some time, you might want to go ahead and apologize for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why people don't want that, but I notice the people that don't want you saying anything to them and don't want you saying anything to their kids, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna be the ones that get it wrong.
Yeah.
But y'all want me to give y'all bail money to bail that baby out when I could have just told you, slap that baby right now.
No, and I
No, don't
I
slap
hate
the
that-
child,
Right,
y'all.
please
Don't
don't
slap
slap
the
the child.
Slap that.
I hate the people who are also like, oh, well, you're not a parent, so you don't know. I'm like, it doesn't take a parent to know how to be a good freaking person.
Right.
Like, you know what I
No,
mean? Like,
Right.
just,
I'm
like,
not a parent, but I'm a taxpayer.
right. Like,
Hello.
Right.
Or if you go
Hello.
to a gynecologist who doesn't have a baby, like, are you going to be like, you don't have a baby, so you're not qualified to deliver? No, like, you're probably
Right.
still
I
going to go to a gynecologist.
I don't agree with
Right.
that because Malia's godparents are not, only one of them is actually a parent, and she got 8. But that's her village. Hold on, that's the episode? but that's her village. So if they say, Janiyah, hey, let's try to do something else with Malia, this might not be working, I am 100% gonna take that advice because that is her village.
Right.
It's not me and Malik we are not God and we don't know everything. And I'd say, tell me what I'm doing wrong. Do it correct, but tell me.
So how do you define the line between toxic parenting and
like good parenting?
Gentle parenting.
You'll see it.
I feel like
years.
it comes down
Right. You will never know until they're an adult. You don't know if you did a good job until you get a phone call saying, "Yo, your child, like, you know, probably shot up
Would you
the
like
school,"
to
like, or
accept this
something like
call?
that. Yeah.
I think it's also accountability and intention.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure your heart is in the right place. You know, don't be afraid of redirection. And
I think
hold yourself
somebody should have
accountable.
told her, what's her name, Jasmine?
Yeah.
Somebody on that live should have told Jasmine that
Oh,
she
you know
was
they ate
wrong.
her up, baby. You know they ate her
yeah.
up.
Oh, they ate her. They always do.
Yeah.
Always do.
Yeah, because that was disgusting.
Well, you guys, we are running out of time. We always have the best discussions. Would you guys catch us back here tomorrow here at Afro TV? Bye.